Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to ACC Music Maker. You're probably expecting Ted Fong, but he is on a much-deserved vacation. But I believe I see him on the screen. So, hi, Ted. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, hi, Ted.
So
You're supposed to be... Never mind.
My name is Mary Nakamura, and I will be your hostess today. And so Ted asked a few people and said, would you ever be interested in hosting a Music Maker show? And I said, sure, I'd love to. And would it be okay if I focus on the music program? So he said, I think that would be a wonderful idea. So I wanted to take a moment to spend this afternoon, and I've invited all of the group leaders for the ACC music clubs to participate as well, many of whom are here in studio and some will be on Zoom. But you're probably wondering if you, let's see, can you show the ACC Lifelong Learning for me, please? So while they're pulling that up, I just wanted to say just briefly about ACC Senior Services and the Lifelong Learning and Wellness Program. And Glenn is going to be talking a little bit more about that, but I put some information on the slide. And so when you go to the next slide, it will provide the information along with their website at the bottom. So the ACC music program really began several years ago. And I'm very pleased to invite today Mr. Glenn Watanabe. And so Glenn was really the founder of the ACC music program. And so Glenn, could you please tell us how the ACC music program came to be?
Sure, let me tell you about some of the influences that impacted me before that happened. One was my mother suffered from Alzheimer's, and during her care, karaoke groups would come and entertain the residents over there. And when my mother had mid to late stage Alzheimer's, she didn't recognize anybody, hardly spoke, just sat almost catatonic in a chair. But when the music groups came, she came alive, got up and danced, sang. She knew the lyrics of the songs. I think it was Tom Nakagawa brought a karaoke machine and played music from the 30s and 40s. And she remembered the verses. Couldn't remember anything else, but she remembered the verses. So they got up, they danced, they asked me to dance with them. In their minds, they were young women again, because no short-term memory, only long-term memory. And so I had to go back to work after that show was over. I went back after work to visit her, and she was again just sitting in a chair like this, as were her others. So it was like the movie Awakening. Music just was like the elixir that woke them up and gave them smiles, made them laugh, made them sing. That was one impact. So when I was close to retirement, and I said, when I retire, I'd like to get back into music, and I'd like to work with seniors and introduce music programs to them. The other thing was Willie Hayashida invited me to play with the Buddhist Church Na Aikane ukulele group. And for 2 years, I just enjoyed the heck out of myself playing music with a group again. And some families came one night to our practice and said, do you guys give lessons? And we were practicing so much for gigs that we said no, and the look on their faces stuck with me. So when I retired, I came to ACC and said, I want to start a ukulele class. Let's advertise one. I only want 8 students at a time for individualized instruction. So I taught the first ukulele class in winter quarter of 2009. And I had 8 students, and they enjoyed playing with each other so much, singing together, strumming together, learning together, that when the class was over, 8-week class was over, they said, man, we want to kind of stick together. And I said, okay, you could think about forming a group. So they did. And then my very next class, spring, the 8 people in there wanted to stick together and enjoy each other's company some more. So with the 2 classes, I had enough for a ukulele group. And Jane Nakagawa was our first music coordinator, and she came up with the name Pocket Pickers because of the neighborhood and because we plucked the ukulele. And Frank Yamanaka was our first leader of the Pocket Picker group. And so with that, we started singing and entertaining at Triple R, which was in the next room. And that was a little easier, wasn't a big group, and 3 or 4 at a time we would entertain every week. So that's how the first club started, the Pocket Pickers. Do you want me to go on?
Sure.
All right. So the following year, another class with Patty Hashimoto, a very good natural leader and a doo-wop singer. She even made a recording. She and her group, her class, enjoyed each other's company too, and so they wanted to form a group. So we formed a group called the South Sac Strummers, and Patty became the first leader of the group. And so we performed all over just like the Pocket Pickers. We practiced every week at ACC and had a ball and did hula also. Patty's group also entertained at Triple R every week. So, or I think it was monthly, but we all enjoyed doing that. And then there was another class after that, and they wanted to form a group, but we already had 2. My time was getting really short, so we formed the Monday Jammers. And I remember asking Willie Hayashida, hey, Willie, can you help coach this group? And Patty volunteered to be the leader of that group also. So she was leading 2 groups, but she's an able person. She was able to do that. Then my instrument was a guitar. So I wanted to see if we could form a guitar group. So I called people that I knew. I called Chris, and Chris says, yo, you got to meet George Connor. Chris Tomine, by the way. And he said, you got to meet George Connor. And so I would go over to Chris's house and we would jam, and these guys were just crazy good, both of them. And they sang together a lot, entertaining as a duo. And so I said, hey, support me. I want to form a guitar class. I mean, not a guitar class, a club at ACC. And I'm afraid not too many people will come out. So the first night, George and Chris were there. And then this other guy shows up, Gary Yee. And he was another guy just crazy good at the guitar and semi-professional. He paid professional gigs for the city of Sacramento. Second Art Saturdays, I believe they were called. And so the 4 of us started singing together, entertaining. And then one night I came into our room. I was a little late for practice, and I came into the room where we were practicing, and it smelled like a men's gym. And I go, geez, we got to do something about this, guys. And so I told them about 2 women I knew who sang with Pat Toyama's the hula halau, Ohana. What was it called, Mary? That
Ohana dancers.
Yeah, Ohana dancers, that's right. So I asked them, would you guys like to join a group of guitar players? It's only men right now, but we could really use some female vocalists to expand the kinds of songs we could sing and to attract a larger audience. Because who wants to see 4 guys? I don't know. So they agreed to join the group. And then I also asked Jane Nakagawa, who was learning bass at the time. She was getting very good at it. And so I asked her to join and to play bass with us also. And so from that point on, we were playing all over the city and the county and playing at GT and ACC, doing concerts every quarter, and making a name for ourselves. And then some of the people in the ukulele groups, in the ukulele clubs, started hearing and really liking the guitar ensemble. So they said, Glenn, is there a group for beginners? And so I said, yeah. So I started a try-day where I brought in every donated guitar ACC had, put them on a table, and I said, come to us between 1 and 3 and try it. And I only invited ukulele players because they already know how to read chord charts, music sheets, etc. So they came, about 21 people came that whole afternoon, tried the guitar, no pressure. And sometimes there were 4 or 5 to a room, and I would go in there and I said, let's sing this song. I had song sheets pre-printed, easy songs. Hang Down Your Head, Tom Dooley, 2 chords. And we tried it. And they liked it enough that they wanted to form a club for beginner, advanced beginner guitar players. And so we formed the Folk Guitar Club. And you can see a picture on your screen right now. That was the nucleus of our group. And we played, again, at nursing home, all over, GT. And now we have a new influx of very skilled guitar players, some from CCC, some independent, some from other bands. And so the group has really gotten to become a intermediate and advanced guitar group. We have some very good players. So now we have those 2 clubs going. And so our music program was really starting to develop. When we have big day of givings, Christmas shows, we had 4 or 5 groups there performing. And the thing about these groups is that they were seniors. They were the very people ACC wanted to reach and wanted to serve. And they wanted to make sure that seniors were learning, lifelong learning, learning new instruments, learning new songs, learning how to perform. They were also socializing, which is a very important component of aging well, of brain elasticity, they call it. And then, very importantly, they were giving back to the community. And a lot of them, that's where a lot of them found heart in not just playing to impress, but playing to please and to make other seniors, some less fortunate, happy. So those 3 elements, these ACC groups incorporated. And that's why I've been so adamant about including our ACC groups in any events we have. Because again, they're who ACC started out many years ago to serve. One day I was at a committee meeting and they mentioned that there's a group of assisted living residents at Greenhaven Terrace. So I was sitting on the board committee, so I said, I'm going over there this week. And so I went over there and asked Brittany Yamada, one of the life enrichment people over at GT, and with her help, we got about 10 or 12 assisted living residents to meet every Wednesday, 10 o'clock, and to sing. And I got Elsie Yun and Nami Berg and Frank Yamanaka to help. They were experienced, seasoned ukulele players to help with the group, to help with the singing and the playing, etc. Some of the ladies at GT could not hold the ukulele in the standard fashion. So I tuned their ukulele slack key style, lowering the high E string to G, from A to G, and they were able to play it slack key style on the table using a guitar or ukulele slide. So to strum it and play a C chord, you just strum it open. You don't got to touch nothing. Then to play F, your 4 chord, you put your slide at the 5th fret. To play the 5 chord or G7, you put your slide on the 7th fret. But they had to know when in the song to slide the slide. So I had to type up all their music sheets so that anytime it called for an F chord, it was in green. And anytime it called for a G7 chord, the lyrics were in red. Then I had to get all the ukulele and put red dots on the 7th fret, green dots on the, so they knew to slide at what point in the song to slide the slide and play the right chord. And they hung to that ferociously. Even on songs where I told them, you don't have to play on this song. They said, no, we need to play. That was their investment in the group. So that's how we did it. And we started them in 2014. And I think the major thing I'm impressed with is that these are the ladies and the men that other groups performed for to entertain. And now this group, now that they were established singers and ukulele players, they went to Triple R, ACC. They played at Revere Court, memory care resident. So they went out to give back to the community and entertained others. Mary Orite, one woman, crying after a performance. She was in our GT group. And I said, Mary, why are you crying? And she said, Glenn, I didn't realize the impact we would have on the residents of Revere Court. Some of them were my friends. They now suffer from dementia, and they were crying, or they were smiling. They were laughing, and some of them got up to dance while we performed. And I said, Mary, that's what it's all about. It ain't about anything else. It's not about the ukulele. It's about that. That's the heart of it all. So we've been going now until the lockdown since 2014. And then the last group that I worked with, when MTV opened in January 2020, I started a similar group over there, and they called themselves the SONGBIRDS. And we took the same music from GT and put it in nice binders. Leanna Ma worked with me and put it in beautiful binders, gathered all the residents, some of whom used to play with the GT group. And we had great fun every Thursday, singing together, going around the room, picking songs. And I taught Leanna and another assistant how to play the ukulele, so if I can't be there, she could still play the instrument for the group. And she learned it and learned it well. So we were just getting into it when the pandemic hit, and I was no longer able to go there, and we had to lock down the place. So anyway, there are 7 ACC born and bred music groups now that are playing different kinds of music. And so whenever ACC residences, nursing homes, whatever, need entertainment, they have plenty of choice to pull from. And with entertainers only too glad to perform for the residents. So in a nutshell, I hope I didn't take too long, that's kind of how the music program began. No, it's just happened that way.
Thank you so much, Glenn. Am my mic back on again? Yay.
No, you don't have to clap. I mean, it's just.
Thank you very much, actually, Glenn, for being here, for participating. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you.
Yeah, you would. I mean, someone else would have done it. But.
No. So thank you very much
Sure.
for all that your vision and just your passion. I remember you talking about your excitement of wanting to work with the residents at Greenhaven Terrace to really make the music accessible for them, for everyone, and just how much joy that brought you, and just hearing.
I fell in love with it. I mean, yeah, I mean, and I'm glad. I mean, it's rewarding. So you can't pay me anything that matches that.
Yes, so thank you.
Not that ACC would.
So thank you so
Sure.
much for
Thank you, Mary, for
being
asking
here.
me.
Yes.
All right.
But don't go too far, because
All right, I won't.
we'll bring you back up again.
Bye-bye.
So now I'd like to bring up Esther Hokama, who's the spokesperson for Pocket Pickers. Okay, so hi, welcome, Esther.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We have listed on the screen for the viewers who's currently in the ACC Pocket Pickers.
Do you want me to
Sure.
read them out? Well, I'm not going by the list. I'll go by my
Okay.
my list. Okay. First of all, Glenn Watanabe, Robbie Yee, Arnie Marks, Michael Yama, Peter Delinas, Susan Delinas, Lois Nishimura, Loretta Lee, Jack Sakai, Fran Sumida, Kei Sakamoto, and myself, Esther Hokama.
Yes, thank you. It's a wonderful group.
First of all, I'd like to, the Pocket Picker would like to honor and for memorial for George Kashiwagi, who passed away in 2019, and Jeff Lee, who passed away March 2021. They were a really important part of Pocket Pickers, and we really missed them a lot.
Thank you.
So,
So talking a little bit about, we'll show some of the pictures we have on the screen of the Pocket Pickers.
the picture to the right, that was Meals on Wheels performance downtown, I think it was.
Nice. So
Yeah.
you have
And the one on the left, I don't remember, I think it was at, I don't recognize that. It could be at the nurse assistant care on Gloria Drive and Florin Road.
Okay. I notice there's you have hula dancers also in your group.
Yes, they play the ukulele or guitar, and then they also do the hula. Yeah, very versatile.
Yes, versatile indeed. And I notice you have matching like aloha shirts and things.
Oh yes, we all have the same shirt. We ordered it through the catalog, and so we have the blacks and the beige.
Okay. Esther, can you tell us about the kinds of performances that the Pocket Pickers have done over the years?
Yeah, we did several, and I'll just go down the line and mention we perform at many places like ACC Care Center, ACC Senior Service, Chinese Community Center Food Festival, Greenhaven Terrace, Maple Tree Village, Meals on Wheels, Riverside Tanoshimikai, and South Sacramento Tanoshimikai. And also we performed once at the Asian Pacific Islander Caucus. That was in 2015. And we also performed at the Baskin Robbins on Florin and Riverside Boulevard. And we'll be performing tomorrow.
Oh, great. Even during the pandemic, that's awesome. I was actually at that lunch where you performed for the Sacramento County Asian Pacific Islander Caucus.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because I work for Sacramento County, although I took the afternoon off. So I wanted to be here for this. So tell us a little bit, I know Glenn shared about the reaction from the audience, but can you tell us from your experience, the reaction from the audience when you perform?
When we perform at the Meals on Wheels, one of the ladies just start doing the jig and just dancing away and singing along. It was really fun to watch. We enjoy playing for the senior citizens, and they do participate. No shame. They just go ahead and do it.
That's
So,
wonderful.
Yeah.
Good. And so sounds like they dance. Do they sing and clap too?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the songs you choose are kind of recognizable ones then?
Right. It's songs from the 40s, the 50s. Yeah.
Okay.
So they kind of know the songs that we play.
Okay. And you said that someone kind of helps select, propose songs?
Robbie Yee was, we designated her to choose the song, but of course the group has input on the songs that we play. So.
Okay. All right. So how about if we listen to one of the songs, Hello Mary Lou, that the Pocket Pickers performed for the recent ACC Big Day of Giving telethon. production crew, they were able to record, right? They recorded part of your group, the instrumental and some of the vocals, and then when you were
And then
ready
you
to
put it together.
put it all
Yeah.
together, yeah. So great job.
You did a
Kudos to
good
you,
job.
Ted. So tell us a little bit more, just one more question, and this is for you, Esther, about what it's meant. Tell the audience what it's meant for you personally to participate
yeah.
in Pocket Pickers.
Well, I enjoy playing with the Pocket Pickers, and I really appreciate their friendship and camaraderie, and we all enjoy playing for the senior citizen, and some of them would kind of start shaking and mouthing the song that we play, and it's really fun to watch them perform too, along with us.
Yeah, it must really warm your heart to
Yeah.
know that you're bringing such joy to
yeah.
people. Okay, let's see. Do we have any more pictures to show on Pocket Pickers?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you, Esther. Now I'm going to bring up George Connor to to talk about guitar ensemble. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh wait, we didn't show the sorry, the award. I don't know how we'll be able to do that. Can we hold
Yeah.
up the award?
Yeah, we received that in 2014 from the Board of Supervisor. It's an award for Heroes of Human Services. So that was something really big for us anyway. And while we were there, we played You Are My Sunshine, and they seemed to enjoy that.
That's great. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And you were going to ask me another question about the
Oh, yes.
membership.
That's right. Sorry. So I know Pocket Pickers had varying sizes over the years in terms of how many members. And so are you accepting any new members now?
Not at this time. We're not accepting any new members, but maybe eventually in the future we will.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I know that I was talking with Ted, and he said there's a lot of people taking Carla's ukulele class, and when they're done with that, they might want to form another group, maybe. Glenn? So, okay.
So, okay,
Thank you so much, Esther. Esther Hokama with Pocket Pickers. Okay, George, come on up. So next we have George Connor.
Can I take off my mask?
Yes, go ahead. I'll keep mine on.
It's nice to be able to breathe.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so, hi,
So,
Mary.
hi. So, could we go to the screen? Okay, there we go. So, George, you want to just talk about, since you're our spokesperson, our group?
Yeah, everybody else kind of decided that this wasn't for them, so they scraped the bottom of the barrel and they came up with me. So, anyway, I'm George Connor. I'm looking at the screen of our wonderful people in guitar ensemble. Josie Blue is a wonderful vocalist. She's got a beautiful, beautiful soprano voice, and it's obvious that she's been playing music or singing for a long time, so proud to be with her. I'm George Connor, of course. Derek Lamb, our CEO, relatively recent member of the guitar ensemble. He brings also a wealth of experience, very, very good vocalist, very, very good guitarist as well. Jane, who we talked about, is our bass player and also a vocalist. She's also got a lot of experience. You, of course, Mary, you know, we do our ensemble thing together, but you've been doing it for a long time. And Chris Tomine, I've known Chris for, decades. You know, he and I go back a long time. We both tragically lost our wives to cancer, so we kind of bonded through that experience. And so Chris and I have spent a lot of happy times together playing music. Glenn, who you just saw earlier, has been playing since he was a teenager. And then, of course, Gary Yee, very, very good both jazz and folk guitarist. So it's my extreme pleasure to be associated with these people. All excellent musicians and just more importantly, very, very good people. So.
Thanks,
Okay.
George. Yeah, and Gary is like our prolific songwriter in our group.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if any of you out there have delved into trying to write your own music, but for me it's a painful experience. My songs turn out to be train wrecks, basically. But Gary is a prolific songwriter, writes these beautiful, beautiful songs, and I'm just filled with envy. It seems to come easily to him. Yeah, so a lot of respect for all these people here.
Thanks. So tell us about some of the performances that Guitar Ensemble has done over the years.
Well, as Glenn alluded, we basically began as an informal group of friends who were just getting together to jam. And then we just started thinking, well, maybe we can take this on the road and actually play for audiences, not wanting to make money or anything like that, of course, but at least getting a little bit of stage experience. So way back when, we decided to put on our own self-produced show at a local venue called the Uli Theater, and that was one of our first venturings out into the world of live performance. And that was, of course, a learning experience. Before then, a lot of us were involved in supporting the Ohana dance group, of course, and so there were some public performances relating to that, backing up hula dancers, which was, of course, a titillating experience for us guys. But and then over the years we've participated in Big Day of Giving, and then what's probably most satisfying for me, and I think you and the others also, is going to the various ACC administered care homes like Greenhaven Terrace and the Care Center. We haven't been over to Maple Tree at all, but we've had a good time playing for the residents there as well. Oh, there's some photographs of us performing. Yeah, that looks like Greenhaven Terrace. There they've got a beautiful kind of entertainment hall there, very, very welcoming, intimate space, and we really enjoy playing there a lot. The acoustics are good, and the people welcome us with open arms. They have gotten to know us over the years, and so it's just a joy. And as Esther said, it's seeing the reactions on the faces when we're performing, seeing them get lost in the songs. I mean, maybe that's a little bit of an overstatement, but we, of course, try to select music, numbers that are from their time period, old songs from the 40s and 50s. And so for me personally, that's also been a very enriching experience, because I remember my folks listening to these songs, and of course, as a rebellious young adolescent, I would have none of it. But I've come full circle and embraced, those people like Perry Como and, Peggy Lee and Frank Sinatra, the kind of piano bar music that I used to detest. That's what I'm playing, and I love it. So it's been an opportunity for me and you and all of the others to basically bond together as friends, and also give back to the community a little bit. So I'm very grateful to ACC to sponsor us, to allow us to practice here, and in return, we go and spread joy and music to the care facilities. And it's a very enriching experience. It's one of the things that keeps me going. And it's one of the things that unfortunately kind of went away during the pandemic. So I'm looking forward to beginning that again.
Yes, I know we do miss performing for the residents, and whenever we've been able to perform at ACC, I know I've given a little shout out to the residents there, because we do miss you. We enjoy performing for you and with you sometimes. That slide that we showed a little earlier was me and Auntie Nami, because we used to dance together in the same halau. And so we both learned a particular song. And so when Guitar Ensemble went to perform there, we worked it out with Auntie Nami, and so she and I both danced, and the Guitar Ensemble performed, and it was just really beautiful. So there we are together in our leis and things. So you want to talk about this next picture?
Well, looks like on the left, that's my good friend Chris Tomine and I. Yeah, like I say, we kind of bonded over the years, and another thing that Chris and I did together as friends is we went on a pilgrimage to Manzanar, and that was quite the eye-opening experience. This was many years ago. Chris, unfortunately, is having some health issues and is taking a hiatus from performing with the guitar ensemble, but you know, he's our Velvet Elvis, so to speak. He's a crooner and does all their Elvis songs for us, and he's really into the doo-wop thing, and so having you gals to back him up on the doo-wop songs is just amazing. And then I'm not sure the picture on the right where that was taken.
CCC.
Oh, that was at CCC up on the big stage. Yeah, Ted's church. Yeah, we've participated there, so it's fun. Actually starting to make a name for ourselves and getting invited to some of these functions, and yeah, it's all good, and I hope it's coming back soon.
Is there any particular memory from a performance of a reaction from the audience that stuck out for you?
Oh, you'd have to ask me a tough question like that. There have been many. I think for me, the most touching thing is probably over at the care center. That's probably the facility where we perform, where the residents are, say, having their issues and need a lot of help. A lot of times they're brought in wheelchairs, and a lot of times, you know, there are obvious cognitive issues, but I remember a situation where I saw a tear streaming down a cheek as a person in a wheelchair was listening to us play a particular song. I can't remember which one it was. Perhaps it was Moonglow or one of those, you know, kind of war era songs like that, but it obviously struck a chord, and watching those people that are obviously, you know, somewhat, you know, impaired or having their issues experience a brief moment of joy, and being able to bring a little sunshine into their lives, that's just priceless for me.
Thanks, George. And so we have one more picture, just including Derek, because Derek wasn't in those earlier pictures we showed, but this was a scene from our participation for guitar ensemble at ACC's Big Day of Giving. Yeah,
that was just right outside this room here, and as you can see, we're all bundled up. It was kind of a cold, breezy morning, but it came off pretty well, and I think that was the first time that, you know, post-pandemic, that we were able to actually all gather together, right? Well, after a practice session. I think we had 1 or 2 practice sessions just to make sure we all remembered, you know, how to play these songs after a year off. But the joy and the energy was just something to behold. So, yeah, Derek is in that one. We don't have, since he's a recent addition to our group, don't have a lot of archival photographs that feature Derek, but we're obviously so pleased he was able to join us.
Thanks, George.
Okay, thanks, Mary.
All right, so next we have, yeah, we can clap for George. Next we have switched to Zoom, and we have folk guitar with John Kwasnik. So, John, are you on Zoom? John is spotlighted, and we want to spotlight Linda, Louie, and Bob Camarena.
Hello. Yeah. No, for some reason, my video is not projecting,
Okay.
but let me participate as an audio. How's that?
Okay, that's fine. Hello, folk guitar.
here I was worried about getting feedback because I'm running two different systems here. I was worried about getting feedback, but anyway, um, okay. I joined the folk guitar group in 2015, and I was sitting in my dentist's office in the waiting room, and there was a copy of the ACC newsletter, and they had all classes and clubs on the back, and one of them was the folk guitar club, which Glenn has covered earlier. He started in 2011. So I thought, hey, that'd be really cool because at the time I was really into Hawaiian slack key guitar. And I thought, well, Asian Community Center, surely there's someone here who plays, Hawaiian music. That would be really cool. So I went over there, and it was a mix of songs of people pretty much my age, world, mostly boomers. And so the music of our time is what we were playing. And it ended up being like the old-fashioned sing-along from the old days, where a song circle, where you go around and everybody picks a song, and you do that song, and the people who know the song are participate in it, and then it goes around the circle. And at that time, we were still in the era of hard copy song charts, the lyrics and the chords. And people had humongous binders that were like this thick. That I don't know how Lois ever managed to carry hers. It must have been about 30 pounds of a binder. And then eventually we moved over we went to the modern age and got everything in electronic files and put them on tablets for their various song software that display the lyrics and do cool things like change the chords for you, and then also scroll along lyrics, more than one screen's full of lyrics at the tempo of the music you want. So we've kind of moved over into that. And of course, during the pandemic, everything, we haven't been meeting together for 15 months or so. But anyway, I'm going to hand it over to Linda now, who's going to talk about, what people get out of this.
Thanks, John. My experience was very similar too. I hope everyone can hear me. I'm sorry, my video is not working today. I happened to be thumbing through the newsletter too, and happened to see the folk guitar group, and your name was listed, John. And we initially had the conversation, and you told me, why don't you just show up at a Monday meeting when the group meets, and you can see for yourself. But one of the things you mentioned to me was that the group gets together and practices songs, and then quarterly the group gets together and performs in person at some of the facilities with the ACC. And I thought that was kind of interesting. So I did come to that first Monday meeting, and I walked in, and I didn't know what to expect, actually. And there were the core group of folks that belonged to the folk guitar, which were like Glenn and Lois and Robbie, and yourself, John. And Bob was not there that night, but I had a chance to sit down and listen for a few minutes. And the songs that everyone was strumming sounded very familiar. And I thought, this could be a lot of fun. So I ran to my car and got my guitar and joined the group for 2 hours. And everybody was either using their thick binder, as you mentioned, John, or they had their iPads with technology. And so one of the members was kind enough to share with me the iPad, and I strummed along with the group. And so it was a lot of fun, that 2-hour period. And I continued to come back. So the group has been something very important to me, especially in this past year in lockdown, because we've been able to communicate online. And it has also given me a chance to reacquaint myself with guitar, because it was something that I played as a youth. And I wanted to figure out a way to get back into music. And this has shown me that opportunity. So I think the group is a wonderful way for people to reconnect with music, even if you're a beginner or you're intermediate. I would say I'm beginner intermediate, and it's more than 2 chord songs. We maybe play 3 or 4 chord songs, and you even have an opportunity to do some solos during bridges. So it is a really fun way to make friends and to go into the facilities. And that was the first year I joined in 2019. I got that opportunity and experience to be in front of the audience who were the residents at ACC and to watch them kind of strum along or rattle a tambourine or clap their hands with some of the songs we would play. And so we get to bring forward some of the different songs that we appreciate to the folk guitar group. So it's meant a lot to me and to enjoy your friendship. So thank you.
Thank you, Linda. And then I understand Bob will tell the tale of your other online antics during lockdown.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say I've been with the group since about the same time John has. I can't remember exactly, but I got here via Ted's CCC Ukulele Fellowship, and I met Doreen Wong there, who put me in touch with South Sacramento Strummers, and I played with them for a while, and then ended up in the guitar folk guitar club. But when the pandemic started and we had to stop meeting, we were kind of at a loss. Our Mondays were empty. And then about, I think it was about March 23rd, Glenn Watanabe sent out a Name That Tune, which was a short guitar solo. And each one of us would submit guesses as to what online. This was all via email. And we do it for 24 hours, and you could guess what the song was. And I think his first one, John told me, was Go Away, Little Girl. And so we would guess, and after the day goes on, you send out clues, and Googling is fair. So we use Google for the unfamiliar songs that search the clues. We're currently in round 28 of this, and we've got anywhere from 8 to 10 of us are participating, and we're estimating that we've got well over 300 songs so far that we've circulated, probably about 325 or so songs, and it's really kept us connected. I mean, I look forward to my daily emails every day, either with a new song or with a clue for the song that I haven't been able to guess. And as I said, it's 24 hours plus or minus that each song is online for you to guess. And it's really kept us connected and has really been a lot of fun. And I think even when we start meeting again in person, we'll probably keep up the Name That Tunes. I hope we do.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you. And so, Crystal, would you be able to pull up their audio that they submitted? And does anyone want to intro that?
Sure. Well, this is something that I guess, once again, Glenn was the motive force behind it. He suggested everyone do something for New Year's. And that would be, there aren't really all that many New Year's songs, so we did Auld Lang Syne. So everyone did their own little version of Auld Lang Syne. And then I sort of mashed them up into one composite piece that features everyone in it. Let's see if I can remember everybody on it. Linda is on it starting off. Tim is playing his Mbira, the thumb piano. And Bob, I forget the order, Bob is playing his Appalachian dulcimer. Tom Chin is playing his ukulele. Art plays an ukulele with Lois playing harmonica. And I'm playing the lap steel. And oh damn, I'm going to forget somebody. It's going to be really terrible. Robbie is playing piano because Robbie's a wizard on the keys. And Glenn ends it up with his finger-picked, countrified Auld Lang Syne. And if anyone, if I forgot anybody, please excuse. Anyway, that's what we got.
Okay, so we'll listen to Auld Lang Syne. Thank you very much, Folk Guitar. It was wonderful seeing you on Zoom, and thank you for participating and for sharing that mashup. It was wonderful. And so now I'd like to introduce the audience to Greenhaven Terrace staff member. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi everyone, my name is Arian Pastolero. I am the Life Enrichment Supervisor at ACC Greenhaven Terrace Assisted Living. And today I'm here to represent our Happy Strummers group.
Yes, thank you. So Glenn did a really nice job of kind of introducing and giving the background of the Happy Strummers. So tell us what you've seen in terms of how they choose songs, or what their experience has been participating in that.
Yeah, it is pretty much a collaborative work. So each member of the group picks a song, and then we perform the songs that they choose. So yeah, it's a collaborative work.
Okay.
Yeah.
How often do they get together? Do you know?
So after the quarantine, actually, we have been meeting every Wednesday afternoons at 1:30, and it has become more like a singing group than an actual ukulele group. So,
Okay, all right. So we have a video that we wanted to show, right, from Big Day of Giving also, of the Happy Strummers.
Yay, we are the Happy Strummers. All right, good.
Wonderful. So the last question is, what does it mean for you to participate, or what has it meant personally?
Personally, well, I actually became a part of the group now as I took over leading the group as a singing group, and it's really great to see how they've continually engaged and connect through music, and they're really passionate about the craft, and yet to me that's really inspiring, and it has encouraged me to actually learn more about music, because I also personally love music, and I actually asked Mr. Frank if he could teach me how to play the ukulele, and he taught me 3 chords, and then he said, okay, now you can play 100 songs. So yeah, I told him that he should teach me more of the uke, and we could play together. Yeah. So.
That's great. That's wonderful. And you have a lot of musical talent over there at Greenhaven Terrace with Yesenia too.
Yes, and
So-
we have one resident who also plays the piano, and so every Wednesday she plays the piano for us, and Mr. Frank Yamanaka plays the ukulele.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's been really fun and really enjoyable being around them. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you for having me.
supporting the residents and for being here today to represent the group. I understand they were kind of shy.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
And I'm going to call up Glenn one more time to talk about the MTV Songbirds and just you did talk about them at the beginning, but just a little bit more, and then we'll show their video. So we're going to go just a few minutes over, if that's okay, probably about 5 minutes or so. But I hope you've been enjoying as much as I have in terms of listening and getting to know the people behind the musicians, right? Because we see the performances and we see pictures and we see them perform, but don't often get a chance to really get to know who are these people that are part of the ACC music program. Why do they do it? What's so important? And I think it really speaks to, I think, the vision that we talked about earlier with Glenn bringing that music program to life, and just seeing, as I'm listening to the stories, hearing how much people's lives have really been enriched, not only the residents and the people in the community that we perform for, but also us individually as part of the group. I mean, the friendships, the camaraderie, the personal growth. And I know for me, my mom really enjoys listening to music from that era. And so whenever we can sing songs like that, it just really makes me smile because she claps and sings and recognizes it. And I just love bringing her joy like that. And similarly for the residents that we perform for. So just wrapping up with the MTV Songbirds. I know you shared a bit about how it was introduced, but anything more you want to share, Glenn, about in terms of the reactions from the residents there participating or?
Yeah, one thing different or one thing fun about MTV was the assistants, staff, the resident assistants, everybody came into the big room when we played. They'd clap, they'd support the residents. The residents enjoyed the attention and they enjoyed singing. It was like a party every Thursday. And Frank came with us, Elsie Yun came with us, Nami came with us to support the Songbirds. Mm-hmm. So they really enjoyed it. Doreen Wong's mother resides there. And Doreen would tell us she really enjoyed us. And if we don't have a session, she's not happy. Even at GT, I remember sometimes we couldn't have I remember 2 residents who took part in the Buddhist Church's Tanoshimi Kai program. They had a lunch program every Wednesday. Yeah, I think it was the Buddhist Church. And the ladies in the Happy Strummers at GT would tell their family, no, we don't want to go to the luncheon because that's our practice day. That's our Happy Strummers practice day. So that's how important it was. So anyway, getting back to MTV, we were getting on a roll and we're just about to make hay when, the pandemic hit. Luckily, Misa Takagi over there plays the ukulele quite well. She did at GT too. So she has been supporting the group, and Leanna, from what I hear, playing the ukulele and leading them in singing. And I believe Misa does it on Saturdays and Leanna might do it during the weekday. But now Nina Hayashi is the new life enrichment supervisor that we'll be working with. And so I had talked with her, and what we might do is have some of the groups that you've highlighted today perform there at the end of each month to help them celebrate birthdays. So we give a little concert. They bring all the birthday people up. They have cake, ice cream, and balloons. And we sing happy birthday for each resident whose birthday it is that month.
Oh.
We do that at GT now. We're all scheduled through December. Mm-hmm. Folk guitar group, Pocket Pickers, and Bill Wong, his Sunshiners group. So they're gonna get plenty of entertainment.
That's wonderful.
So a lot of things at MTV are about to happen, just about to, you know, as soon as we could gather again. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Well, let's take a look at the MTV Songbirds from the video that they filmed for the ACC Big Day of Giving Telethon earlier this month.
Sing loud, everyone. When the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, oh, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in, and when the sun refuses to shine, and when the sun refuses to shine, I still want to be in that number. When the sun refuses to shine, oh, when the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, I still want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, I still want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Good job,
Yay. Okay, well, thank you again. Thanks, Glenn, for starting and ending the episode with me. And also thank you to Esther and George and Ariane and to our folk guitar group on Zoom. And also special thank you to Crystal and our crew here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Great job. Thank you, Ted, for giving us the opportunity to put this episode on, and it really, I really did want to honor and uplift all the people in the ACC music program, the clubs that paid dues to ACC to practice here before the pandemic, and just what it's really meant. It's more than just a group getting together. It's really blossomed into something very beautiful and touched a lot of people's lives. So again, we thank you for your support of the music program of ACC Senior Services. They're always accepting donations, so if you feel so moved and would like to make a donation, I'm sure ACC would welcome it because we want to be able to continue to provide these kinds of programs and online classes for the community. So with that, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.